everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you a very tasty and pretty easy dessert, okay? This is how to bake Napa Valley Vanilla Fig Balsamic Apple Crumble. I know, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's gonna be so delicious. Now, I'm using 3 large red delicious apples and a couple Macintosh. Use whatever apples you like. I'm using about 5. And tonight I'm not doing a big casserole dish. I'm gonna use a bread pan and make it a little bit thicker. Now, when you're serving this up, you might wanna serve it with ice cream, you could serve it with whipped cream, or you can just serve it with cream. I'm also going to be using this fantastic Napa Valley Vanilla Fig Balsamic Vinegar. This stuff is unreal. It is blended vanilla bean and beautiful ripe figs are blended together and mixed with this aged balsamic vinegar from Wine Country Kitchen's Napa Valley Vinegar Company. Unreal stuff. Make sure you check out my review on it. It's nice and thick and sweet like a syrup. It's not really runny and tangy and just too tart. I'm actually going to be mixing it in with my apples tonight, and then if you want to at the end, like I said, you can drizzle over top as well. So I'm gonna get this ready. I'm going to just butter up my bread pan here. You can spray it if you want to, but butter always tastes better, especially if you're trying to make a really snazzy dessert. Use butter, it just is better. I'm gonna set that off to the side. Now I'm going to peel, I'm going to core, and I'm going to slice these apples. I'm gonna cut these guys into quarters so that I can core them easier. So just take your paring knife and get any little pieces of the seeds and that little hard bit out. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take these quarters and I'm going to make long slices with them. If you want to cut it into chunks, you may do so. These little Macintosh apples are a little bit more tangy and crispy than the Red Delicious. It's gonna be a nice contrast. I'm gonna dump these all in a bowl right quick. Now, I have some grapes left over from my dinner, and they go perfectly in here too. So it's just a handful of little red grapes. I'm gonna toss that all together with some things, okay? I'm gonna freshly crack some pepper. I love using pepper in desserts, especially chili pepper. Tonight I'm using just black peppercorns, and I'm gonna just sprinkle that a couple throughout it. It's just gonna give a nice little texture as well as just a hit of spice. Now, I would usually hit it with a little bit of vanilla extract, but this already has vanilla in it, so I don't need that. It's gonna be awesome. If you had fresh figs or dried figs, feel free to add that to this. I'm going to drizzle maybe a tablespoon and a half of this. I'm going to toss it all together. Oh boy, that's going to be good. It's just going to intensify in sweetness even more. Use your hands, it's just easier that way. There's a lot of apples to cover. I'm also just hit it with a little bit of salt. That just helps balance and round things out a little bit. Toss it all together. Beautiful. I'm also going to add about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to this mix. Toss it all up. So tasty. All right. So I'm just going to put everything in here. I'm going to even it out as much as I can. It's going to reduce in volume as the apples bake. All that goodness. And as my mama always teaches me, a little butter goes a long way. So a couple dabs of butter on the top. Okay, I'm going to start the crumble top with about a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar. I'm going to eyeball. I have breadcrumbs that I'm going to use today. You can use oatmeal, you can use flour, you can use whatever it is you like. I'm using some breadcrumbs today, and they're actually sweet potato bun breadcrumbs, so they're already a little bit sweet. They've been working very nicely in all kinds of baking this week. So I'm going to use maybe a cup, and we'll see how that goes, and a bit more butter to mix in. Maybe a tablespoon and a half-ish. I'm gonna use my hands and knead it together somewhat like I would a pastry dough, okay? How you would knead that all together. You wanna mix the sugar with the crumbs and the butter so you can make a nice crumble for the top. Lovely. It's gonna feel like it's somewhat moistened, but you can push it together sort of like that, like you would be able to a pie crust at this point. Something like how you would do graham cracker crumbs for a cheesecake. Now I'm just going to spread these crumbs all on the top. Try and cover everything up. So that's what you have, folks. You've got the beautiful apples mixed with that vanilla fig balsamic vinegar, a little bit of butter, those little grapes, and a beautiful crumble for the top. This is gonna go in your oven for at least 30 minutes on 350 degrees. What you're trying to do is soften up the apples, make sure that everything's kind of tender, and then that crumble top should be nice and brown and a little bit crispy. All right, in it goes. Okay, let's grab this out of the oven. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. It smells unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Now, you've got the juices are all flowing, you can see in there with the grapes and the apples. And then you've got this gorgeous crumb top that's nice and browned. I'm sure it's nice and crispy. Awesome. Now I've got some ice cream tonight and I'm gonna serve it alongside that. Okay, I'm gonna start by plating it with some ice cream underneath. Oh yes. And then we're gonna scoop some of this gorgeous crumble. Nothing better than hot fruit with ice cream. Oh yes. I'm gonna bring that one to my mom. There's a lot of gorgeous juice in there. Oh, beautiful. Boy, that crumble is hot. A little bit of those juices going. Oh yes. That is going to be a satisfying dessert. Look at this. Ice cream and that crumble. Gorgeous. Now the only thing left to do is try it. I'm really excited about this. I want to get a little bit of that crispy crumb on the top. Mmm. 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 That crumb is nice and crispy. The apples are nice and tender. Man, they're glazed with this gorgeous vanilla fig balsamic vinegar. Mmm. It's just melting my ice cream. It's awesome. Mmm. Oh boy. Mmm. The grapes are really nice and tangy in there. Boy, what a lovely contrast. Mmm. 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 I can taste that little bit of black pepper. Just what I wanted. What an absolutely gorgeous dessert. Something a little bit different, very easy to make. All you need is a couple apples, a handful of grapes, some sugar, some breadcrumbs, and this gorgeous balsamic vinegar. Make sure you check out Wine Country Kitchens at winecountrykitchens.com for this whole line of Napa Valley balsamic vinegars. They are belligerent. They are so delicious. Man, I've marinated with them. I've made salad dressings. I've done desserts with them. I've done glazes for poultry. I've done, you name it, I've pretty much done it with their gorgeous vinegars. Man. Mmm. That'd be a really snazzy apple pie if you could do it like that too. Really, really tasty. I hope that you try this too and experiment with what you put in the crumble. Mmm. 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 I can't stop eating it. It's melting my ice cream. I'm gonna let you go. So that's how you do it. That's how you bake a Napa Valley vanilla fig balsamic apple crumble. You can do it too, all right? Check them out again, winecountrykitchens.com. You'll be so happy you did. Follow me on Twitter at cookingwithkim, E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and you can check me out on Roku. Check out my website at cookingwithkimberly.com. Come interact with us, subscribe, let us know what's going down in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen. and eat deliciously. Bye.